everybody.
I'm Jana Matthews here at the Grace Company.
I'm Melinda Romero.
And we are joined by
Grant House Sewing.
Yay! Welcome.
Good morning. Hey, good morning.
Why don't you guys introduce everybody? Yeah.
Ruby over here and Chris. Chris is actually our educator for Grace Frames and for the beautiful
Awesome.
QCT world that we're going to be talking about today. Here's Lauren right here, top sales associate and absolutely the most wonderful, happy person in the world except for everybody else at the table. And we're so excited to be with you today.
Well, thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, welcome. We're so happy to have everybody here. If you can tell us where you're watching from, we would love to hear you as we're talking about what we're going to do today.
Yes. I have said this time and time again with different events that we've done, different digital events, even going to shows. The quilting community is phenomenal. I don't think I've ever met or interacted with groups of people that were so helpful, humble, inspiring, for so many other quilters out there. So many different stories that I've heard, of people's quilting journeys. It's just amazing. I think everybody, again, in that quilting community, there's just that kindness about the whole group. It's evident there at Grant House Sewing. We recently, Ruby had come out and taken a class with us, and just kind of the comments, that I have heard, just really speaks a huge testament of the quilting community as a whole. Don't you think, Jana?
Oh, totally. Sorry. I am running things from the side here. So if you see me going back and forth, I'm running both things. So I have my little laptop here so I can run things. So that's why I'm kind of coming over to the side, running it as we're talking about stuff too. But I just love quilters. I love how much quilters care about events and not just other things that they're trying to get it so that they can give, what did we say, like a quilt is like a hug, and I love that they just want to wrap hugs around everybody that they make quilts for.
Yes. And it's amazing. And I'm sure you guys have some great stories about customers there in your local shops, just story about a particular person or kind of a quilting journey. What's one that kind of sticks out to you, Grant?
Well, I was thinking about one of our friend customers right outside of our area, and I go to visit her at her house every once in a while, and she's just in a few weeks going to turn 96.
96. Wow.
I was there at her last birthday party at the adult education up there, and she's just a live wire, and she's wonderful, and it was just really wonderful to meet her. And she said to me that when she gets up in the morning, sometimes she just doesn't want to get up. And that the minute she goes into her sewing room, the minute she gets in there, suddenly everything changes. And she feels alive and alight. Now, we'll have to actually say she acknowledged her community, which is really what we're kind of all about here, as what really keeps her going. And she says, you realize 4 years I'll be 100. But, that truly exemplifies for me like the spirit that you're talking about, the positive things, right?
Exactly.
We're swimming in a sea of it here, at least at our stores. People come in every day and they're just like marveling at the beautiful projects they're doing. And oh my gosh! And now for us to have a really nice setup here for them to come in and use our frames and get familiar with them and everything, that's just added a whole new dimension. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share about that.
96. I can't even fathom. I can't fathom.
I don't want to get up in the morning. I can't imagine feeling, all those years. Yeah.
Say, well, this is my last sewing machine, or well, I'm not sure if I'm going to last long enough. You just remember this wonderful person, and I will tell you, it just makes us smile.
That's awesome. So awesome.
Yeah.
So
a couple of things that we're doing today, we just want to talk to people about. We have 2 giveaways, and I wanted to show you what those are. We're going to do a giveaway on...
Well, I
Let me see
guess
if I
it's
can
not a
find
drum
it
roll
here.
quite yet.
Not yet, not yet drum roll, but we're going to be doing a 10-foot luminous light bar. This is the light bar that we have created here at Grace Company. It's LED, and it can go for 6,500 hours on the light bulbs. It's a fantastic giveaway. It can be set up at 5 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot. You can purchase a 2-foot extension and make it 12. So, I mean, it's a fantastic light bar. It really helps with that true match color. I know I have sometimes problems. Is it orange? Is it red? Is it pink? Is it gray? You know, but with the light bar, it really helps you get past that.
That's it, exactly. And you know, I always say whether it's sewing, whether it's quilting, crafting as a whole, there's no such thing as too much light.
Yeah.
Good light.
It's
Good light.
true, as that good light that gets you going. The other thing that we've got going on then also is the next giveaway. It will be the Quilters Combo. Let me pop that up here. This is the 6.5 by 24.5 inch ruler, the comfort cutter, the true grips, everything you need to get started. And you'll notice that, I mean, the comfort cutter has that nice angle in there so that it's just very comfortable with your hand. And then that has that track and guide system that we started with the True Cut that really helps. For me, I do the whale tails as I'm going down. If I start to veer away from the ruler, and then I just have to cut more fabric. So other people...
And doesn't that make you so mad?
And other people kind of go over the top of the ruler and
That's me.
potentially cut fingers or different things. So the track system helps you go all the way to the end, but we're going to give away that combo as well. So stay tuned for both of those. Those are for pre-registered winners. Those are people who registered on the site ahead of time for the event. So that's how we got these people. So we've got a random generator that picked them from those pre-registration winners or participants, and then we'll get those going.
Yes.
A little bit about that light, if I can.
Yes.
One of the things that I've noticed, because I've been at people's homes installing their frames and helping them out, is that most people's sewing rooms are not well lit. And, you know, to have somebody come and install new lighting in the ceiling or actually build it into the room or even aftermarket kinds of things, nothing compares to the weekends. It's just...
Yes. I agree. You know, I hear all these stories, people saying, oh, I have plenty of light in my sewing room. And then you see pictures and it's like, it's kind of dark. It's kind of dungeness feeling in a way. And, you know, then I see pictures of people's homemade kind of lighting systems. And it's
Or they
like,
have so many lights that it's so hot in there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's like, there's an easier way, I promise.
So we have some people saying where they're watching from. So we have Barbara Carrington. She is watching from Central Coast, California. So
Barbara.
welcome, Barbara. We have Janice Minyard. Welcome, Janice. We've got some more people watching. Sharon Aurora says hello. So thanks for watching all of us.
Yay.
From where you are, we just love having this great connection to all these different quilters
Yes.
and everything like that. But now that we've got some people, and before we go to the video, should we do the giveaway before the video?
Let's see the video. So Grant has been fabulous. He has sent me pictures of the recently kind of remodeled showroom shop area. And I'll tell you, pictures oftentimes don't do justice to what you're looking at. So I for one, am super excited to see the video tour of the shop. And so let's do
Yeah, so we're
the
going to watch
tour.
the video first, and then we'll come back and do a giveaway.
Yes, and then we can do a drum roll.
Hello, good morning. My name is Lauren. I'm with Grant House Sewing Center. We're located in Santa Barbara, California. And I'm just going to give you a really quick tour before the automation event. So come on through and I'll tell you all about it. Okay. So this is where most of our notions are kept. We've got scissors, buttons, marking tools, pins, all that good stuff. Basting pins if you want to connect your sandwich or whatever. We keep coming through. We've got all of our machines. a lot of which are actually compatible with long arm frames. So if that's something you're interested in, we'll just walk through. We carry most of the major sewing machine brands, like Brother, Janome, Singer, Foth, Viking, all kinds of stuff, and of course Grace, you know. If we keep going, we've got some ribbons right over here. And then we've got some patterns over here as well. A lot of independent brands. So Garment, we've also got some quilting patterns right over here. And if we keep coming through, you'll see a lot of our fabric. Most of it is quilting weight cotton and just all kinds of fun stuff. We've got some other stuff like rayons, we've got some jersey, some linen. But if we come through, we can kind of see all the fun stuff. And if we walk over here, you'll see where we cut the fabric. You can see Angelica, she's making some fat quarters for us right now. And we've got some waxed canvas, we've got some cork, all kinds of fun stuff. Our batting over in the corner. And we'll keep walking through the fabric. And we have some 108s. This is just one section where we've got some backing fabric, but just so you know, we also have that. Walking through, we've got some buttons, all of our thread.
More fat quarters.
And then we've got our classroom right over here where we do all kinds of lessons. We do quilting, we do kids camps, we do garments, all that fun stuff. And we'll come back through and you'll see the long arms that we have set up, including the one that the automation event is going to be happening with. And I'll hand it off to Chris to talk to you about what we've got.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the teacher and instructor for Long Arms that Grant has just integrated into his sewing store. We have 3 types of long arms that you can use, so they're affordable and they're able to fit in the house, most of the houses in Santa Barbara. The first one we have is about a 12-foot frame, which allows you to do very, very large quilts and very small quilts at the same time. This one actually has the automation that comes with it. All the machines are actually have the availability to have the automation on them. This is a 5-foot frame for people who have smaller areas, and then we also have something really small here that you can set up on your kitchen table. They're all fun, they're great to work with, and I encourage you to come on in and take some lessons and get going. So that's it. Yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the event.
Oh my goodness. I have to go to Santa Barbara now, right?
I do too. Take me with you.
We have to come. I mean, I just loved seeing all the fabric. Like, I was like, stop, wait, look at that one. And then it was like, wait, stop, look at that thing. Oh wait, I want to play with that. And
Yes.
Melinda commented how fantastically light and bright your shop is. It's not like you're in some dingy, dark corner, right? None of it was dingy. None of it was dark. It was all
bright.
bright.
It was inviting.
Yes.
And there was so much to look at.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you had the luminous light bars above the frame, so it was a perfect segue to see all those fantastic light bars.
Let's hear for Lauren and for Chris. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was so fantastic. Now, if you want to go see Grant House, you will see here at the bottom of your screen, we have a ticker going. It has their website, it has their phone number, and it has their address. So all the things we just talked about, hey, I want to go see it, I want to find out information, or I'm ready to buy right now and I just need to go to the website and buy it. It's all down there. So,
Or call and buy it.
yeah, all of it's down there, so you can see, it's gonna be on the screen the whole time, but take it down now, because you'll think, oh, I'll write that down, and then we'll be done with the show, and you'll have it
You
anymore.
forgot it. You're like, wait a minute, where was
So,
I
yeah,
going?
all right down there, write it down, and then you'll be set.
If you come by to visit, I'll make sure.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the parking, because we have parking in back. A lot of people don't know that, so we want to make sure you They have an easy way to get in. If you're in a wheelchair, easiest to come in through the back. A lot of our customers are
All
are-
ADA perfect.
Free parking in Santa Barbara? Wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Okay, so we've got this giveaway. It's the 10-foot luminous light bar. You can see the corner of it there, and you saw in the video where they had, I think it was a 8-foot and a 12-foot setup, but you saw how bright it was. It's not extra heat. I know when I'm around the light bars, I really don't want any extra heat around my face or anything like that. So we've got that luminous light bar. So, okay, drum roll, we've got our generator. It is creating the person.
Brenda Johnstone.
Congratulations. We have your email address, and we will send you an email and say, hey, congratulations, you won this giveaway, and we'll get your address and everything. However, if you are like, I don't even want to wait for the email, I want to get that right now, you can email allegra@graceframe.com and say, I just won this on Grant House, and Allegra will get your information and we can get it out to you. But congratulations, that's
Yes.
so awesome.
It's a fantastic gift. And especially, we're getting into the season where the nights aren't quite as long. It's getting darker a little bit earlier. Mornings are darker a little bit longer after waking up. So whenever you're quilting, whether you're up and at 'em, and quilting by 10 a.m., or if you're a night owl and quilting at 2 a.m., that luminous light bar provides the phenomenal light, and everybody will absolutely love it.
And it's, if you didn't win, so everybody but Brenda, this is a great time to call Grant House, and it does come in a 5-foot or 10-foot option, so you can contact them and get that discount. And they don't know this, but I'm throwing this in. We're going to do 20% off.
Wow.
For anybody that buys it for the event. So starting today through next Wednesday, you can
So 1
contact-
week.
1 week. You got 1 week to buy, or you have 1 week to tell everybody for Christmas, because you need it early, right?
Yeah.
It's your Christmas, Black Friday / Halloween present.
Early
Beginning of
birthday,
fall.
late birthday, happy anniversary.
Exactly. It's a
What
perfect
else?
time to purchase to get that 20% off on the luminous light bar. So that's going to be great. So, okay.
Awesome.
Next, we're going to talk about QCT. If you've thought about buying it, if you do own it and you're ready to upgrade, we're going to go over all of that. But just so you know, while that's happening, I just want to pop this up here. We are doing 20% off all levels. So that's QCT 6, which is the edge to edge, and we'll talk about that. QCT 6 Plus, which is the edge to edge and pattern placement, and then the Pro. This is if you're going to get all the 2 things for the other ones, plus you're getting all those design features. So pattern CAD, quilt CAD, and then all the upgrades. So if you want to go from, you already have 6, you want to go to Plus or Pro. If you have QCT 5 beginnings and you're ready to go to QCT 6 Pro, this is an upgrade for that. Now, if you already own QCT 5 and you're like, oh, I want to go to QCT 6, how do I, what's the cost on that?
Right.
That's
Now,
just an
there's an
update.
emphasis. I want to remind everybody. So currently, QCT 6, it's available for the QNeek machines. If you have another brand machine, I strongly encourage you to reach out to a local dealer or that brand directly to see if they have the update from QCT 5 to 6. I've heard rumors that it's slowly been rolling out. Not all brands yet, so if you're kind of in that bucket, you already have QCT 5, but for a different brand, just do a little bit of homework and see if we have that update from 5 to 6 ready for you.
Yeah, and so that update is free. Update is free. Upgrade is a paid thing. So if you're going from, if you have a QNeek 15 and you're ready to upgrade to the Pro, there's a cost, but it's 20% off, so take advantage of that right now. But we're going to go over now, so we're going to say goodbye to Grant's house, and it's just going to be me and Melinda. We're going to...
But they'll be back.
They'll be back, yes. We're going to show you some things about QCT6. Feel free to put any questions you have in the comments here on the screen, and we'll be able to get those questions answered for you. But we're going to start with QCT6. Now, this can work with any QNEEC machine, so that includes the Little Rebel.
Yes.
So we saw that in the back of their shop. They had the Little Rebel on the Cutie, and people say, oh, I have this, I can't automate it. You can. Today we're going to show it on the 21X Elite. And we have the Evolution Elite frame here, so we're going to show it on here. But yes, all our frames. So the Q-Zone Hoop, Q-Zone Queen, Evolution Hoop, Evolution Elite. Older frames like Continuum, those are able to put that on there. And then all our QNEEC lines. So the Little Rebel, the 15s, 16s, 19s, 21s, we can do that.
Yes, yes. One of the things I love about all of our products, Jana, it is they're easy to set up, they're intuitive to use the products, automation included, and it got even better when we updated from QCT5 to 6, and we added that QCT6 edge to edge.
Yes.
I, for one, I feel like I'm pretty smart 90% of the time. If you ask me to math at 4:50 in the afternoon, probably not going to happen very accurately. But I consider myself a pretty smart, kind of person. And even when I started with QCT5 beginnings, it wasn't. I felt like I was missing something. Yes, once I got into it, it was easier to use, but there was still that little bit of guessing where it's like, am I doing this right? So I love the QCT6 edge to edge because it will take you step by step by step through all of those processes.
Yeah, so let's talk about those step by step. So we're going to show you on our screen what it looks like when you're first getting into that edge to edge. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on our Quilters Combo Creative Touch. So that's going to open up, and it's going to give us some questions and some things we need to do. First, it's going to make sure that our machine needle is up.
Which it is.
We're going to make sure we're not going across and scratching anything in our fabric or tearing a hole. And what's happening is it's going to take that motor, and I'm going to pop into here our screen here so we can see it'll move to where we need to go. So it's engaging the motor plate. So what happens is you have a plate that's a motor that sits on your carriage, and there are these belts running back and forth. So you can see right away, we're in Pro right now, so we're going to go into QCT6 edge to edge.
So we can see kind of the list of the features. QCT6 Pro has everything 6 Plus has everything 6 edge to edge has. So when you upgrade, again, you're not losing anything that you had, you're just building and making what you had just a little bit better, more designs, a little bit more design manipulation capabilities and features, the higher you go up in those tiers.
And
so
the price isn't any different. It's not like you're paying more because you didn't upgrade or you didn't buy the full price earlier. It's just the difference between the two.
Right.
So you're not being penalized because you just got the early one and then you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next one, you get the next one, or you went from the early to the Pro. There's no penalty on that. It's just the difference between the two.
Yes. All right. So we went ahead and went into QCT6 edge to edge, and you can see it, front and center it says edge to edge. So if we go ahead and click edge to edge, we get this awesome welcome screen. We get a QR code which takes us into just a little bit more kind of help with the automation software. We won't get into that now, but again, we're just going to go ahead and click next.
Now this is your tutorial, so you can have these open automatically, so you can have that auto open on, or you can turn it open off. Either way, I have my tutorial start at the first little bit, and then as I got more familiar with the program, I didn't need my tutorials as much. But it's a great way of having that reminder each time.
Yes. All right. So we'll go ahead and close the screen. Now, the first step with our automation, we need to set the safe area. So really the safe area that we set in, whether it's the width of the quilt, whether it's a quilt block, it's telling the machine, the motor plate, how and where to move within our designated area, again,
much space?
across our area.
Because say we were only going to here for a table runner or something like that. Sure, my frame is really giant, but my fabric would only go to here, and so we want to make sure you're setting it for what quilting project you're working on.
Yes, so we'll go ahead and set it, and just kind of for the sake of what we're doing, I'm gonna set it just for the width of the frame. And I got hung up on the tutorial. I forgot to turn that off. All right, perfect. So now here, we're at the beginning of setting up our design. So we click on the folder.
Now we have over 100 specific designs just for QCT6
Edge-to-edge.
edge-to-edge versions. Now, edge-to-edge means it's the same design for your entire quilt. You're not doing other different things. With Plus, we'll show you how to do pattern placement, but this is all designs that are specific. Now, as we add more designs, they will, each time you update your machine, if there's like we are always testing it and making sure bugs are worked on, and so you'd have sections where there'd be an update, and so we'll add in other patterns there as we go along.
Now, one comment I've heard from a few customers, they may have started with 6 edge-to-edge, and then they've gone to 6 Plus or Pro. And a lot of these designs, some carry over and some may not. So
They should all carry over.
Yep.
So that's the issue. You should contact technical support so they can help you make sure you have all those.
But the key thing, again, all of these are just edge-to-edge designs. Again, you're just, in a sense, sewing or quilting one row at a time of your quilt. So let's go ahead and pick a design. I love the puppy dog footprints.
Oh, that's such a cute one.
It is. So we've picked our design. Okay, we'll go ahead and click next. And here we're setting the height of the design. So we can see, again, just on that row, we can increase the design to make it thicker or wider within that row, or we can decrease the design size. We can reset it, we can go back and maybe pick a different design, or once we've set our design height, we can go ahead and click next. And here it's telling us to adjust the row spacing. So even though you see 2 designs or 2 rows, the automation is still only going to quilt one of those rows, but the screen is showing you how far apart those rows will be.
The other things that I want to point out here on the screen, one, on the top left corner of this little tiny area, it shows help. So if you have any questions at any point, you're kind of wondering, well, what's my next step? You can always click on that help button to get you to some information of how you're setting your row spacing or whatever it is you're working on. And then the other thing is that green line that's going across. This is your kind of where you are in your system to be quilting and finishing your quilt. So we know we're just at the beginning part here. We've done our couple of steps, so we got to keep going to get to that sewing part.
Yes. All right. So I feel I would be happy with the distance between those 2 rows. So I'll go ahead and click next. All right. And then here, we're telling our automation, are we at the top of our quilts, in the middle of our quilts, or at the bottom of our quilts? So for today's sake, we're at the top of our quilt, so we'll go ahead and keep it at the top. And now it's telling us, or instructing us, to set the quilt top edges. So move the needle to the quilt top edges and tap the associated nodes. So the nodes are going to be kind of these red corners and lines on the
That
outer
gray
edge
side, yeah.
of our design. All right, so I'm moving my machine and setting those nodes.
And she's just tapping those as she goes, not a double tap, just a single tap as we're going along. Yeah.
Come over to our end.
It's green, yeah.
All right, perfect. And then at this point, we can go ahead and click next.
Now, what it's going to do is these green nodes, this is your placement left and right where you're going to measure to make sure. So you're going to want to move. You can either move it all the way to the left and then hit move left, or you can hit move left and your machine with the motor plate will move it all the way left and all the way right. But for time's sake, it'll be faster if we start to move it and then we'll click move left. And then you'll see that the machine will start to move and get over there just a little bit. And it's gonna go where that section was that Melinda had started. So we're gonna do a single stitch and we're gonna mark with a pencil or the stitch or a sticker. In this case, Melinda knows where it's being done, so she's not gonna mark anything because she's got that little section there. So next we're going to go all the way over to our right side and we're going to say our single stitch for our right placement.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to move over to where our right one is. We were kind of close, but this will allow us to get exactly where it needs to go. And so we're going to do a single stitch here to mark it. Now we've got those two markings, we've got those little stitch marks down inside there. So we're going to know we're going to get started. And so now we can hit next. So you can see it looks like before it was going to go off our section, but now it's going to clip that image so that we're only sewing within the section that we started with.
Yes, and on the screen, we have step 1 and step 2. So again, I'm moving the machine back to where I made that first initial stitch, the area of that stitch. And we'll go ahead and do our single stitch.
So it's going to go where that green circle is. That's where the stitching is going to start first, and then it's going to move so you can pull up that bobbin thread. And people ask, well, why do I want to pull up the bobbin thread? Well, the nice thing is when it ties off, you're going to be able to have that all on one side, so you're not having threads on both sides, and you don't have to pull up that bobbin thread at another time. Now, for time's sake, we're going to say we sewed the whole thing. It's going to get to the end, because we won't have time for plus and pro, but it's going to get to the end, and then it will have us move it down to the next section and sew that line again.
Yes.
So each section, and that's why we do those markings so that we know how far down we're going to be and lining it up.
And I want to emphasize following that step-by-step process. Pick your design, place your design, we'll click the button that says sew, and it will begin sewing our design. It's that simple.
Yeah, and like you saw, that there's those help tutorials. You can do those, the beginning tutorial that goes through the whole thing. So really, it's not foolproof, but it's so close to being
Yes.
foolproof. So as always, you can always reach out to Grant's House to ask questions about that. But you can also reach out to our technical support. They're there to support us with you as well. So it's not just one person that you're trying to get a hold of, you can do with both. But let's move on to QCT 6 Plus. So you have that edge to edge that you can do when you're on Plus. So we're just gonna go to the home setting, and she's popping into that other tiers, which you can always do a view of what the other tiers can do, but you have to have it to get to that next section.
Now, as you can see, on the screen, it looks a little bit different than edge to edge. So at the top, we have QCT 6 Plus. Previously, it said edge to edge. Once we get to Pro, it'll say Pro. But again, the select and sew, the pantograph especially is the new part that is in the 6 Plus version, which I absolutely love.
And we also have the select and sew, so you can place, say you were doing in between sections, you wanted to do edge to edge or a pantograph, and then in a particular section you wanted just one image, right?
Right.
So it has that option that you can kind of play around yourself to create how your quilt's gonna look.
Yes, yes. All right, so again, just emphasizing, we'll pick our design. We'll go through that same process of placing our design and then sewing our design, again, in that select and sew option. So again, very similar. If we go into pantograph, now my favorite part about 6 Plus, with 6 edge to edge, we could only design one row of our quilt at a time. With 6 Plus, we can design 2 rows. So everything that you learned going through that 6 edge to edge, it's going to be the same going through 6 Plus. So again, you're just building and gaining more of those options to finish your quilts faster.
Now, when you go back into the design section, right, you'll see that when we go to select a pattern, you can have what's available on Plus. Now with Plus and Pro, you have 200 different images that are different than those original ones. But if you wanted to use one of those originals again, you can go into the patterns folder and then select your edge to edge there. So Melinda's going to select on the patterns on the top left. And so you can see right there to the right, 3 from the right, it says edge to edge. There we have all those images again and patterns that we had with the edge to edge program if you're wanting to use it in the Plus version. So you have the access as well. But since we're just going to do our own design, we're going to come in, you can either do an individual one, or to help you, we have continuous lines. So those ones are designs that are kind of already having those little leading edges here and there to help you get started.
All right, I love the little ducks. I think they're the cutest thing ever. So that's a big duck
That's
right
one
there.
deck on a whole safe area.
Yes. So if we click on patterns, there's a plus or a minus sign. If we click on the plus, we're just adding how many little ducks or whatever the design is into our row. So again, that's going across. Our rows, which are going down, and remember, we can design 2 rows of our quilt at a time with 6 Plus. So again, we can add the 2 rows. This is how it's going to appear on our quilt. We have different sizing adjustments, so we can make them a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. We can select a row. Will it let us flip the ducks or rotate the ducks? Nope. Okay, here,
I think it doesn't let it once you've done the whole row.
when I've added the second.
Like, I think you have to do it individually first, but
Let's get out of there.
But yeah, so right now you can see our row height, it was at 7 inches. that is half the size of our safe area, so that's what it's going to quilt. And you can see our pattern width right now is 8 inches, and so the total width of our and total height is there as well. But those are the individual ducks. Each individual pattern is 8 by 7, so then it becomes 49 by 15. So you can place this as a zone and do everything that you would do normally through the edge to edge, right? You're going to do each section, it's going to quilt, and then you're going to advance your quilt and go that way. You can place it as a single pattern to try and place it that way, but let's move on to Pro so we can see the differences on that one as well.
All right. So we'll go ahead and exit out of our design. It's asking us, do we want to save it? For this purpose, no, we're not going to save it. So we'll go ahead and go into try another product, and we'll go into Pro. All right, so again, we saw the differences between 6 edge to edge, 6 plus, and now Pro. The center looks very similar or the exact same as what 6 plus had, but there on the right we have some additional features. We have the pattern CAD, quilt CAD, and the record option.
I love the record. I just want to talk about that really quick. If you have a design on your fabric or you've drawn something that's really great, you can take the needle out of the thread out of your needle, and then it will record you, and so then you'll have that. I've also seen people take this and put a picture down, a drawing that one of their kids have done, and they trace over the top of that drawing, and then that can go right into the quilt. So it has all those capabilities that you may not have even thought of before. That's more than just quilt and pattern CAD.
Right. And again, you're recording that movement that you're doing, so it's not only for the quilt that you're working on now, it saves it in your library so you have that going forward. So I love that feature and the idea about using your children or grandchildren's drawings, and laying that on your quilt and tracing it with the machine. That's amazing. Talk about creating that perfect memory piece. So love it. All right, so again, select and sew, the same as what we've previously saw. Pantograph, let's go into pantograph because here is where it's going to be a little bit different. So here we'll go ahead and we'll pick our design. Again, I'm sticking with the little ducks because ducks are cute. Yes. All right, so on 6 plus, we were only able to add 2 lines in our quilts. My favorite thing about my favorite thing about 6 Pro is I can design my entire quilt.
Well, and I love that there's so many different pantograph modes. This one is in basic, but if you can see right there that panto mode basic, you have other options. You have a power panto, an easy panto, and they have specific things about them that help you get into that pantograph. But basic is pretty easy. If you go into power panto, I like that it gives you some kind of easy, different options. So if we go in there, then we can quickly do the sizing. I can select at the bottom where it says vertical spacing. It's got center and clip, so it kind of clips off, but if you select that one, fit and nest, which means I'm just gonna have no designs off the quilt. It's only gonna fit into my safe area, so I'm not gonna have that issue.
For the longest time, I didn't know that was an option. And there were some patterns, I would sit there and fight with it, and it's like,
you're trying to
why won't you
it.
fit? Just fit, just play nice and fit. So I loved, when I learned about that feature, it was like mind blown because it made it that much easier. All right, so again, we have our pattern, we have our pattern height, the total width of our quilts. We're fitted to the area that we've set our zone to. And here we have a few more design manipulation options. So you saw with just that easy click of the button, my pattern rotated. If I click a second pattern, then my rows are alternating. You know, and it's like, you know, ducks are cute to begin with. All of my ducks are not in a row. And when they were all going the same way, that kind of illustrates in my mind, my ducks should be in a row when they're not.
Yeah.
So this, it's a little bit more my style, you know, the alternating rows, at least with the ducks, which I love.
There's so many other things that we could go into. Unfortunately, we don't have all the time for that, but I want to go into QuiltCAD and PatternCAD to kind of show you some different things there. First, we go into QuiltCAD. This allows you, we were talking earlier about designing your whole quilt. So here's a grid system. So you can select certain squares in your quilt.
Now, there's different nodes on the corners. And for me, it's always a little bit of trial and error, you know, when I've picked my design to be able to emphasize, okay, I have all of my blocks selected. Now I have alternating, so just like a checkerboard or chessboard. And here we can pick our design, whatever we want it to be. I like the daisies. So then we can go ahead, we've selected our pattern, we'll go ahead and place that pattern, and it placed it in those alternating boxes.
That's so fun. Then you can also select the alternating ones and do a different pattern. So before we could only use one pantograph at a time. This allows you to do different placements, and then the same thing, you can size it, you can flip it, you can rotate it as you're going along.
Yes.
The other thing I love, if we go now back to PatternCAD, this is more of a drawing. It's always going to ask you to, are you working stuff you're saving? I love that because, you know, I forget to save what I'm doing. With PatternCAD now you can draw things. So one of the things you can do is import a picture, and then you can put nodes on it so that it will know where to quilt. I know this one person, they were out, they have a Jeep, and they were out in Moab, and they took a great picture with arches and their Jeep and everything, and then they put it in PatternCAD and they drew the nodes on it, followed it along, and now that's a quilting thing. Same thing, you could do pictures, your family, again, drawings that people have done and put in there, and it's really great to draw and get those all set. So many fantastic things about QCT6, all the different versions. And I just want to pop up again one time as a reminder. So starting today with Grant House, we are doing 20% off QCT6, QCT6 Plus, QCT6 Pro, and all the upgrades. So if you have QCT6 edge to edge right now and you're like, you know what, I'm ready for that design, I'm ready to go all the way to Pro, you could do that upgrade. You can go to Plus. If you have Plus, you can go to Pro. So that's really easy. So let's bring Grant House back in and see if they want to talk about anything that they like about QCT6 to tell us about their experiences with everything. Hi guys.
Hello!
I'm sure you've had customers in and out, and everybody's got to go back and forth and doing their helping the customers and phone calls and such. But what experience have you guys had with QCT6 so far? What's been your experience?
Well, I haven't worked with customers too much yet. It's so new to our store, but I'm a long arm quilter outside of Grant House. Actually, only live on the street from him, and I actually have everything. So I'm going to say I would honestly say go for the top of the line.
Go big, yeah.
Yes.
That's what you want to do for business, right? Because you have so many choices and options, and it's just, you know, when you get, if you say, okay, I'm just going to get this one, and then you're like, oh, well, it doesn't do that. So that's why I say, come on, like if you can, and it's on sale, push yourself right now and make payments if you have to, because the sky is the limit with the software being this, you know, at the top of the line. So
It is, and one thing I don't think we touched on, so with 6 Plus and 6 Pro, you can upload additional designs into the software.
yes.
Now, I've seen some tutorials, especially in social media, giving instruction on how to upload edge-to-edge designs in 6 edge-to-edge. I personally haven't done it yet, but there's tutorials out there, and a lot of people have. You just have to remember, edge to edge, it has to be an edge to edge design to start with.
Well, and I love what you said about going big or going home. I always think, well, why not go home? Because that's where your quilting frame and fabric is. And
Unless you've gone to a retreat.
Exactly. So having it all set and ready to go. The thing I like about QCT 6.2 with this whole automation is that you're quilting or the machine and framer quilting while you can be piecing. So, I mean, you don't want to get totally away from it. And there are some repair features and different things like that if you break a thread or run out of bobbin. But
Or depending on the design, there might be little breaks.
or different
You know,
things,
so
yeah.
I don't want to say you have to, constantly
monitor it.
monitor it, watch it like a hawk, but you do want to be in the area. So if you run out of bobbin thread or, something happens, you're there to fix it.
Yeah, so,
I'm sorry.
oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
I just love that I have that feature, and I know my machine so well that I can hear the sounds it makes when the thread stops, or there's, something might happen, or I know it, so I'm close enough and I listen for it. And the other day I was in my room upstairs, and I thought, I can't hear my machine, so I just poked my head in the door, and there it is.
It's like little kids, when they get quiet for too long, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? What are they doing?
You could also FaceTime your machine and then, like, what's going on with that? Oh yeah, we're good with that.
Getting a machine nanny cam.
Nanny cam for the machine. I love that. So as a reminder, all the machines, all the Qnique machines, including the Little Rebel and all our frames that we currently have, including the Cutie Breeze, are compatible with
And the original Cutie,
and the
if you have
original
it.
Cutie and the Continuum frame. Those are compatible with QCT 6, so you're not having to try and figure out, oh, well, how do I get this connected? So this is a fantastic, again, we're going to extend this right through Wednesday
Yes.
next week. That is the 11th or 12th? I can't remember the date. Let me see.
Let's see.
And I got the deer in the headlight look, and it's like,
11th.
okay.
While you're all figuring out the date, also for people who are near enough by that you can help them out. I mean, I will really be helpful. It is really
Awesome.
nice to help you out.
Yeah.
I do want to acknowledge, Grace, for something. Your instructions, your organization, like each of the boxes. When we set up a frame, when we set up automation, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, truly the most customer service oriented assembly I've ever seen in my life. So thank you, but we're here to help too. So make sure that whoever's watching here would like to participate. I'm right here to help you.
Oh, awesome. And one thing I strongly encourage people, buy with a dealer. Dealers offer so much value to a customer's purchase. So as Grant mentioned, they can offer in-home setup. You may offer classes on a particular product. Potentially, I don't know, maybe Grant House will host maybe a retreat, or, there's always different types of events that so many dealers offer, where if you don't purchase from a dealer, chances are you're not going to learn about those events, and they're so much fun.
Yeah.
I've gone to a handful of different dealer events, and it's that testament that the quilting community is so strongly united with each other. Everybody's helpful, encouraging. They'll, help mentor, especially myself as a newer quilter. I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes I still don't know what I'm doing, but it's that great emphasis, The quilting community is phenomenal. Our authorized dealers, equally phenomenal. So it's awesome.
Well, and thanks for saying that about customer service. Yeah, you were saying that customer service, Grant, and really, for anybody who's watching who hasn't had a chance to get the customer service from Grant's house, it's phenomenal. And we try to partner with people who have exceptional customer service as well. So this is the best time to get connected with them, have this special going. You're not going to be disappointed. Go in, see their shop. Again, right down here. You can call them, you can go visit, go see all those fabrics, right? Like, when you said the 108 inch, I was like, I need some 108 inch for a backing. Maybe I'll come down and check it out, right? So go, don't miss out, don't wait, write everything down and get going with them today.
Yeah, awesome.
So we have had so much fun. Our time is almost up, but we have time for one more giveaway. This is our
Drum roll! Oh wait,
Quilters
let's
combos.
announce what it is.
Yeah,
A
let me
reminder.
get that in here first.
Yep, so my recollection, it's the Quilters combo.
Yes.
And you know what, Jenna, this is probably one of our #1 selling items, Grace-wide. And it's not even a machine or a frame. It's cutting tools, a cutter and a ruler. But it's one of those things you have to have. I know for a long time I struggled cutting my material with a straight, rotary cutter, straight-handled rotary cutter. And since I started using that comfort cutter, I've alleviated so many aches and pains that I would feel on my hand, my upper arms, everything. So hear it from me, my testament, the comfort cutter, the My Comfort cutter, top notch. The #1 thing I think every sewer and quilter needs in their arsenal of supplies.
Yeah, it's, do yourself a favor if you don't win, right? Because that's with all these products. If you don't win, you can contact Grant's house, just down here, and get these items. And they're perfect for you to get ready for stocking stuffers. Just get your stuff taken care of right now. So, okay, drum roll. Now we have a drum roll. So let's get who won that. Gloria!
Yes, congratulations, Gloria Rhodes. You have the Quilters combo, and we'll pull up the information for you to reach out to us, or we'll reach out to you. But if you reach out first, you'll send an email to Allegra, ALLEGRA, at graceframe.com.
Or she'll also be able to contact you so that we can get your address and everything.
Yes.
But thank you, Grant House Sewing Center. It's been had so much fun with you guys today. Love seeing your tour. Anything that you guys want to talk about before we're done for the day?
Hi, from us, just to say thank you so much. I mean, the customer service of Grace is just off the charts. We really appreciate you so much. And you're so generous with your time and your spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
Everybody,
welcome.
come Visit us. Come and see
We'll
us.
see you again.
Yes,
Thanks so
go
much.
see Grant House Sewing in person or online. I'm confident they can take care of all of your sewing and quilting needs.
Bye, everybody. See you
Bye,
next time.
everybody.